Hello, guys. Welcome to another podcast of Showbiz Solutions. I'm Shabazz Khan, founder and CEO for Showbiz Solutions. And today we have our lovely guest, Anna Tutova. She has joined us from Spain. She has a really extensive background in cryptos, the NFTs, the blockchain. She is the CEO for Cointelegraph, which is a company for managing different, awareness for brands who are dealing in NFTs, blockchains, and cryptos. I hope I am right, and you can correct me anytime you want. So Anna is basically building a fintech payment system. She has a banking infrastructure, which is going to leverage startups which are in Web3 and going to allow them a whole new transition from one part of transactions to another part of transactions. So it's better that Anna explains how she thinks the Web3 company, Web3 industry is going to leverage all those enthusiastic people who are stepping toward in this, in this world. So over to you, Anna. Just a little brief introduction about you, about your company, what you're doing, and we'll start from there. So over to you.
Hello, Shabazz, and hello, everybody. Thank you for inviting me for your podcast. As Shabazz mentioned, I have a company called Cointelegraph, and we have a group of businesses. We have our own news media website where we publish news about the crypto industry. As well, we have a YouTube channel called Fight Crypto. You can check it out and search it on YouTube. We make as well there a lot of interviews, project reviews, and as well we are making a documentary film on the new era of digital economy. And you can check some trailers of our documentary film on our channel too. And we made 3 episodes for now. One in El Salvador, the first country which adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender. So we had the president of Salvador, vice president of El Salvador, some government officials. Actually, it seems just yesterday there was anniversary of adoption of Bitcoin as a legal tender by El Salvador. Second episode we made in the UAE. I used to live partly in Dubai during the Corona times, and as well Dubai has a lot of different movements, activity to attract more crypto businesses. They have quite friendly crypto regulations. So even Binance moved there, and they got the license there too. FTX, Kraken there. We had in our film CZ, founder of Binance, Just Hoskinson, founder Cardano, Justin Sun, Tron, founders of Sandbox, Polygon, and other leaders of the industry. And third episode we made in Davos in Switzerland during World Economic Forum. I'm always focused on Ukraine because I'm originally from Ukraine, and unfortunately we still have the ongoing war, and we need the support of international partners. And crypto community was quite supportive, and we saw how crypto became quite a powerful tool, and as well we can say the benefit of Web3 when fundraising was made via crypto, and we see a lot of DAOs made, and people, different volunteers and organizations started raising funds to help Ukraine in crypto. And even government got the wallets on exchanges, and government started accepting directly crypto as donations. So that's one part of our business. As well, we have PR marketing agencies, so we help projects in the industry with the promotion. We help with the publications in media. We work with a lot of influencers and do social media campaigns. And as well, I'm into fintech business. I'm partner at a company called KYC Pay. We help with opening of bank accounts, setting up payment gateways, and licensing for crypto companies. So thank you for inviting here.
That's really extensive, and I never thought it's going to be so extensive background. Though your profile is legit. I mean, it shows everything that someone wants to go through. Okay, so Anna, before we jump into the questions, we ran a survey and we got a few of the questions. And now we would like to throw those questions at you, and so you can answer the best of your knowledge and see how your business will actually solve those problems. Okay, so Anna, what do you think? How your business is technically going to, leverage the Web3 companies? You mentioned that you are leveraging the companies who are, the company that you said that about the transaction, about the banking procedures, right? How is Web3 actually related with it?
So basically, we are a service company. We are not really work as Web3 company, but we provide services for Web3 companies, and still. Unfortunately, the fintech industry generally is still far away from the adoption of crypto, and banks too, like they're old school banks. And we see, of course, much bigger adoption of crypto than it was a few years ago. We see more trust as well. Probably the last bull market was pushed by the institutional adoption, and probably the next bull market we will see as well much bigger institutional adoption. So those ones, even like JP Morgan, said Jimmy Dimon a few years back that Bitcoin is a scam, and now they offer Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency investments to their clients. So in this way, crypto businesses are considered to be a high-risk business, so they can't get bank accounts in traditional banks. So that is why digital banks exist, and they provide bank accounts for crypto businesses. Same as it goes for payment gateways. So if you are like it doesn't matter whether you are into Web3 or Web2, you can have, for example, e-commerce website or marketplace. So like you can be at this stage in Web2, but you would like to offer more payment options to your customers, and you would like, for example, to implement crypto. So that is why you may need a payment gateway so that your customers can go to your website, click, and have an option to buy things or services in crypto. And the same like licenses and registrations, any business needs it. But when we talk about Web3, even now we see a lot of companies forming as DAOs, and they some kind of avoid even legal registrations and claiming that they are very decentralized and there is no entity to go after. But anyway, like just for technology business, you need a license. You not necessarily license, but you need registration of your operations.
Okay, so Anna, what's the process when you go for a due diligence process? I mean, right, any fintech company cannot get into a Web3 industry if it's not for due diligence. So how do you try to, go through that barrier? I mean, the process for due diligence, acquiring the customer's trust, and then lending them this platform, then they actually do it.
So as for due diligence process, do you mean like making due diligence process for our customers, or for what exactly?
Exactly. I mean, you have to create a customer trust, right? Unless they're not going to get into their financial transactions. How did you overcome that barrier between them?
Yeah, so it depends for what services. When it comes like to banking or payment gateway, these customers are businesses. So obviously they should pass KYB, know your business, or if it's an individual, they anyway have to pass KYC, know your customer. So they should provide their documents, so that that's the appropriate due diligence. As well, you can check the nature of their business, in which jurisdiction they operate, and like with which other companies they work to. And generally, you can always check the background of the people.
Great. Okay, so I think that's towards the first question. I'm going to go towards the second question. That is, how is your business, I mean, related to crypto and, related to decentralized financing? Are you guys covering any part of the DeFi part as well?
So we are not directly connected to DeFi, to decentralized finance, but a lot of our customers, the projects we work with, are in DeFi space, and we have seen the boom of DeFi in the summer of 2020. Actually, DeFi has been always there. Generally, is I said sometime before, Bitcoin is as well DeFi because it's a decentralized currency, which is not controlled by anybody. So generally, crypto industry is decentralized, but we saw first the appearance of a lot of centralized entities which just provide crypto and blockchain services. So those companies are controlled by this or that centralized entity, or for example, the main use case is probably crypto exchanges. So if you have account, the exchange, some entity can decide maybe to suspend your withdrawals, so they can block your account, they can block your addresses, and etc. If you're on a decentralized exchange, you don't need to pass KYC, nobody can control you, you're the full owner of your assets. So with DeFi, there was, well, at that time, before 2020, some decentralized exchanges too, but they didn't really get back then big adoption. And then since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, the first protocol which started like DeFi movement was Compound with the launch of the governance token, and this trend became quite popular, and it was as well one of the reasons for the rise on the market. Everybody was making yield farming, etc., and it became super speculative, as we saw. Like we recently saw in May the crash of UST stablecoin. It was not really a stablecoin because it was not backed by the real asset. It was backed just by by the beliefs in the Luna token. So it was not backed by some fiat currency or some other assets which are really stable. It was backed by very volatile currency, and as well they as well offered on, for example, Anchor 20% of return on the staking. So this percentage is not really sustainable. But DeFi as a use case has a big future because it removes intermediaries, though it as well reduces fees, and I expect bigger adoption of the DeFi in future, and especially of the use of DeFi by real businesses when they can benefit from the use of DeFi, take loans backed by their real assets, but now they won't have to go to a traditional bank to pay additional intermediaries for the services and etc. And we saw already appearance of some projects related to providing loans in DeFi space for real assets, like, for example, Centrifuge or Maple Finance.
Okay, so Anna, when you mentioned that when you go to bank and you tell them, okay, so this is how DeFi is going to actually working. So do they even legalize this specific percentage every time someone makes a crypto transaction?
Can you repeat your question? I didn't understand.
Okay, so you mentioned that there is a specific percentage when someone makes a transaction over a decentralized financing system, right? So
yeah.
Does the bank charges anything legally, or if someone is doing it illegally, do they still take any action for it?
So it's not the charging something legally, just like the business. How banks work, they provide, they give credits, so they lend money, and as well borrowers, lenders bring deposits to the bank. So bank pay you interest. So the same in DeFi, you can stake your crypto in any DeFi protocol, but now everything is controlled automatically via smart contract. So the bank, some DeFi protocols give the same percentage as banks do, so it's not always super high. It just banks may fail, banks may go bankrupt. In DeFi space, probably the only risk is that so just security risks, that this or that DeFi protocol will be hacked.
I get it. No, that's perfect. The whole image of it. So next question is, Anna, that Web3 is a huge industry, right? Many industries are getting into it. What do you think? What do you think your business is technically providing benefits to, especially the people who are entering the Web3?
Which benefits Web3 give to businesses? So Web3 basically gives the power back to people. So In Web2, everything is controlled by big corporations. They can ban your account. Like, for example, even Twitter account of Donald Trump was suspended. A lot of other accounts were suspended. And even if you use any social media or any Web2 service, you basically pay with your engagement with your time, but you don't get anything back. Like, for example, you use Instagram, you post photos, you post your videos, and basically the users of this or that platform are the biggest value of that platform, because the user brings traffic, and the more users this or that platform has, the more value it has. But all the profits go to all these Web2 companies. In case of Web3, we have decentralization, we have tokenization, and the possibility of rewards and giving back to community. So since the last year, we have seen the rise of the trend of decentralized social media, where you can have your full ownership, as well as different platforms rising for your activity. You can be rewarded in different tokens. As well, we have seen the trend of NFTs, where you can create an NFT and get back the royalties from it, and you have the full control and ownership of it.
Oh, that's for the audience that who are really trying to step into Web3. I think Anna has, perfectly aligned everything you want to know. So Anna, just almost we are across the needle right now. And Anna, why did you start your own business? I mean, you are, in a lot of industries right now. I mean, what's the one thing that you are going to address the audience to get into something that's a new world out there? How did you came into it?
Yeah, so basically I have been always interested in new technologies, and at university I studied international law, but I almost never in my life practiced law. And I knew about cryptos from my group mate who had an internship in law company which deals with crypto and blockchain. And he mentioned once Bitcoin to me, so I got interested, started Googling about that. And then in around half a year, I knew some guys who started working with one ICO project, and they invited me for the interview, and I got involved into this industry. First thing for me, it was interesting from the investment point of view. I always wanted to invest somewhere and to get profits and benefits from my money. So crypto was my first and only investment in my life. And then later I started just on the peak of 2017, in October 2017. So I got into this industry back then quite late, but for now it's like almost 5 years past. So now it seems like even 10 or 15 years past in this industry. But generally, I'm quite fascinated about startup entrepreneurial movements. And generally, it's Web3 and crypto gives you full the power and full ownership of your assets. And as well, it's probably the most rapidly growing industry. And then when I started, I wasn't with that project for such a long time because bear market started. So a lot of projects started cutting off the expenses, so they closed their office in Ukraine. But I never left this industry since I began my involvement in it. So I time from time attended some conferences in Ukraine, and then I went to one conference abroad, and I met my current co-founder. He already had a news media company, and we started working together. And that was the time when I got involved into the industry on very serious level, and started traveling a lot, going to different conferences, knowing more people, and developing in this industry.
That's really impressive. And just one last thing before we round it up. Okay, so if someone who is really new to this crypto business, right, would you suggest them to invest in crypto right now in this time?
I don't give financial advices, and actually it's never late to invest if you invest for the long term. But you should understand what sum you're ready to invest. like the safe and as well where you would like to invest. If you're newcomer and you don't really understand markets, the safest thing for you will be just to invest into Bitcoin, Ethereum, but you should understand that it may drop the next day or the next month, so something can happen and your investment amount may decrease quite a lot. But in the long term, you will profit from it. It may rise, and like who knows, maybe it will rise 2-3 times more, maybe 5 times more, like nobody knows. So if you have some spare money and you would like just to try some investment strategies, crypto for me is the best asset to start with.
Great. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, whole audience right now knows, I mean, what the business you are in, how they want to get into the Web3 world, what's the best investment for them if they are really new to this, and if they are looking forward to connect with you. I mean, if they want to know about your business or would like to connect with you, what's the best source of medium where they can reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn or Twitter.
Okay, so you
as well, you can check our YouTube Fight Crypto.
Great, that they will definitely do. And on Instagram, are you guys on Instagram or something?
We don't have a corporate Instagram. I have personal Instagram.
Okay, great. So guys, this was Anna. You guys are free to reach out to her either on LinkedIn, Twitter, or you can go and watch her YouTube channel. It's full of NFT, DAOs, blockchain, and so on. So thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate for you to spare some time and come up on the show and sharing your insights, your experience on what the current technology is working in and how it's going to change or revolutionize the entire industry. So Anna, this is pretty much it. And thank you so much. I'm just going to stop down the recording and there we